The Maple Leafs have another injured defenseman. The Devils stay red hot as the Seattle Kraken send their top draft pick down to the American Hockey League. Hey everyone, Rob Wong, joined alongside by national NHL columnist Michael Traikos. And Mike, it feels like every week we're talking about a new Maple Leafs defenseman that is injured, and Morgan Rielly, the latest to go down after suffering an injury in their loss to the Islanders. As we're filming this video, we do not have an update on his status. He is going to go off for imaging, and they will go from there. Best case scenario, he misses just a couple of games and they can fill it internally. Worst case scenario, he is gone long term, much like TJ Brodie, much like Jake Muzzin. Is it imperative, if Rielly is out for a while, that they go out and get someone to fill his spot?
Yeah, Rob, you know what? We're talking about now, your number one defenseman in Rielly, your number two defenseman in Brodie, and your number three defenseman in Muzzin. So I don't know how many teams in the NHL can survive, having three of their top 6D out for even a short period of time. And the Leafs, they've been getting a bye just because of their offense and, some surprise goaltending from Matt Murray and Ilya Samsonov when he is healthy, have kind of, been able to patch this up. But yeah, I've said it before. I think this team needs to get a defenseman. I think even with those three guys healthy, this team needed another top four defense. And just because, Muzzin, even when healthy, hasn't been the Muzzin of old, and you're just putting a lot of minutes and a lot more responsibility on Rielly and Brodie. So with all three guys out, you're going to see a lot more of Mark Giordano, who's closer to my age than he is to Rielly's age, and that's probably not a good thing if you're in the NHL right now. And guys like Timothy Liljegren and Rasmus Sandin are going to have to stand up. And in Sandin's case, it's been a rough start for him. The contract negotiations really took the wind out of his sails. So we'll see what the Leafs do. I think right now they're going to try to fill this internally because, I haven't seen too many trades in the NHL. But if this goes longer than a week or two, I think it's time for Kyle Dubas to pick up his phone and get someone in here.
Things are going pretty well in New Jersey right now. Devils have won 13 in a row. They recently beat the Leafs, and the Leafs will try to end that streak on Wednesday evening. But are there any flaws with this team right now, Michael? When you won 13 in a row, things are clearly going very well, but are they head and shoulders above the rest of the NHL right now?
Yeah, of all the surprising starts to the season, what we're seeing out of New Jersey is just kind of come out of left field. I thought, if we were going to see a team make that jump from, pretender to contender status, I would have guessed it was going to be Detroit, maybe even Ottawa. Instead, we're getting the New Jersey Devils. And it's, you saw them against Toronto last week. This team is fast. They're skilled. They remind me a lot of what the Leafs were in Matthews and Marner's first year, where they were just playing with house money and just destroying teams' defenses just with their speed. So Jack Hughes is off to a great start. Same thing with Nico Hischier. Both number one overall picks are finally showing why they were the top picks. Another guy, John Marino, has been just outstanding for them, and they're getting great goaltending from Vitek Vanacek. So I don't know if it could last all season long. I don't know if we're looking at a team that's just going to go all the way and win the Stanley Cup, but they look like a playoff team right now, and they look really dangerous.
You wrote recently about Seattle Kraken first-round pick Shane Wright, his up-and-down rookie season. He's been sent to the AHL for a conditioning loan. How strange is it what he's going through right now, and is it the best course of action for a guy that's in his first NHL season?
Yeah, Shane Wright's probably too good to be playing another year of junior, and yet he's not quite ready to be taking a regular shift in the NHL. And because of the NHL rules with players of his age, he can't be sent down to the minors on a permanent basis. What they can do is put him down on a conditioning stint. Reading between the lines, though, his conditioning stint ends days before Canada's selection team training camp goes to Moncton, New Brunswick for the World Juniors. I talked to Team Canada's GM yesterday, and he basically said that they're hoping that Shane Wright basically goes from this conditioning stint right down to the World Juniors, plays in the World Juniors, gets a gold medal, gets a chance to, get in some meaningful games and build up his confidence. And from there, hopefully he goes back to the Seattle Kraken and finishes up the year. This guy, he's really talented. I think Canada can definitely use him on the World Junior squad. That's going to be a really talented team with Connor Bedard and Adam Fantilli really headlining the offense. But for Shane Wright, he's got to get in the games. He's only played in 7 of 18 games this year. He has no goals, 1 assist, really doing a disservice to his development by not having him in games. So this is the perfect scenario for him, in my opinion.
Definitely a storyline to keep our eyes on as Shane Wright progresses through this season. For all of Michael's other NHL coverage, you can check out his work at Postmedia and on Twitter at Michael_Traikos.